Okay, so this is the next video and in the continuation of the fast API series, and today we will cover two more topics. One is the body updates and one is the JSON compatible encoder. But before that, let's look like what we have covered in the last video. So in the last video, we have created one more endpoint which will fetch all the items from the database. Okay, so till now we have created I think 3-4 endpoints. Like one is the create user endpoint and one is the create item endpoint, right? And then we have created a create get item endpoint, then fetch all item endpoints. Now we will see how to update the item. Let's say we have created the item but we have to update the existing item. So how we can update that? So till now we have updated get and post, but now we will see put and patch. So let me close this. So this is covered under the body updates tutorials. So within this Flask tutorial guide we have one topic that is body updates. So in the body updates, we have to update the existing item. So to update the existing item we have the two methods. One is the put method and one is the patch method. So right now, like in this video we will only see about the put method, and in the coming video we will see about the patch method. But both methods are almost same, and both are required to update the existing data. So it's up to you whether you want to use the put method, it's up to you whether you want to use the patch method. But most of the developers use the put method, because here if you come here, there is in the official documentation it is written there, patch is less commonly used and known than the put, and many teams use only put. Even for the partial updates you are free to use however you want to. So it's up to you whether you want to use the put and the patch, but both will update the data, right? Or you can say modify the data. So patch means the patch term means when we say there is a patch upgrade, so a little upgrade. So the patch term is refer to that. So let's suppose we have the 1000 fields, 1000 columns in a table, and we want to update only one column. So rather than passing all the 1000 column, we will pass only one column. So then we will use the patch. And if we have to put, so we can use the put as well, but when we have to put, we have to pass all the columns. Okay, so yeah, so that's it. So and we will see the JSON and compatible encoder as well. But before that, let's directly jump into the code. So let me activate the environment. Okay, so we have to create the new route, right? So in the items.py file we will create a new route. So here we will create a new router dot. Now rather than the post and get, it should be put, right? So which method, what we are getting it, we are getting the item, and it could be the update route, and we will update a particular item. We are not updating all the items, so we have to accept the ID from the user. So we will use the Python format string to accept the ID from the user, and let organize it with the tags, so that all the items come into the similar tag. Okay, now we have to define the function. So update item by ID. Okay, now we have to pass perform some kind of operation. So this function, it will take few arguments. First argument is the ID keyword, right? So it will take the ID, and we will use the pydantic approach, so it should be the integer. Second thing is that it will take the schema as well, because okay, we are updating for which ID we are updating, it took, but by which value we are updating the fields. So there are 1000 fields, so user can update any field. So user can update a single field, user can update multiple fields, so any field user can do that, right? So user will pass a particular schema in the form of key value pair, right? So so user will pass item, and it is of type item crate. Item crate is our schema. Let me again show you. cd//nano schema.py file. So item crate is a schema, so it will take a title and the description. So we have only like 2-3 fields. Let me again show you in the models.py file, and if you see the items table, we have like id field. So id field like is a primary key field, so user should not update this, so we will not accept this. So title user can update, the description user can update this, date posted user can't update this because it is the original posted date, not the modified date. Owner id like whoever the owner, like it will not get updated. So from the front end only the title and the description will be updated. So that's why like we are using the nano schema.py file item crate schema, which has the 2 fields only. Alright, so we are using the like we will do the item crate. Along with that we have to update in the database, so we will take the database session as well. So database session, and it depends upon getDB. Okay, now we have to like perform some operation, but directly performing some operation. What we will do, first we check whatever the id user is passing from the UI page, whether that id exists or not. So first we run a normal select query, right? So existing item, so we are fetching the existing item, db dot query, and query on which table? Items table dot filter by which key? Items dot id is equal to id. It is items or item. Let me cross check. Nano dot models, so it is items only. Yeah, items only. So we are like getting the we get the like existing item. Now we will check whether existing item exists or not. If it doesn't exist, then it will return a none. So if not existing item, let's suppose if the existing item does not exist, then it should return some useful message. So message could be, what could be the message? So message could be no details exist for item id and then id, and we are using the formatted string, so we will use the f. All right, okay. Otherwise what it will do, so here we have to do the if not existing item dot first. Why first? Because this will return just a query. Now when we use the first keyword first function, it will fetch the details. So if it not fetch any detail, it means like no item exists, no detail exists for the particular item. Otherwise what it will do, existing item, so you can say either you can rewrite again like db dot query dot item dot filter by dot items id is equal to id, or otherwise like whenever we all this query existing into the existing item, then we are directly using the existing item. Then we will use the update keyword, and within the update keyword, what data we have to pass? We have to pass this item data. All right, so we have to pass this item data, but this update keyword use the dictionary as a input, but this item is a pydantic schema, so this item is not a dictionary, this is a pydantic schema. So convert into a pydantic schema, we have the JSON compatible encoder, a function. So there are some cases where you might need to convert a data type, that is pydantic model, to a something like JSON or dictionary or list. So that's why we have to use, and the same thing we have to do here. As an input we are getting a pydantic model, or you can say pydantic schema, and but the update parameter, update function will took input as a dictionary. So we have to convert, because if we directly pass item, it is a pydantic model, but update will update need the dictionary. So we have to convert the item into the dictionary object, right? So to convert that, we have a one encoder, that is a JSONable encoder, so we have to use that. So right, so this is a like very small document. So they told that we have to import from FastAPI.encoders, we have to import the JSONable encoder. So let's import that. So from FastAPI.encoders import JSONable encoder, right? And rather than directly passing the item, we will pass JSONable encoder and we will pass that particular item. So it will like convert into the dictionary. So if you want to show you, let me show you as well. So if I only print item and if I print JSONable encoder, yeah, item. So let me comment this for the time being. So just I am like only printing that, and let me print as well, print the existing item as well, print the existing item and print the existing item dot first, so that like you can understand why I'm using the dot first. So why, let me start the server, uvicon main app hyphen reload. Okay, so clear, something is wrong. Okay, so return spelling of return is wrong, so let me correct that. Where is cd routers ls nano items.py file, spelling of return is wrong, let me correct that. So now again something is wrong, invalid syntax. Why there is invalid syntax? Because I give some space. There should not be any space, I think. Yeah, now application has been started. So if I go to the localhost 8000 docs, we could see one more put path, right? So if we try it out, so let me try it for 100 item doesn't exist, hopefully. Let me execute it. So it returned me no details exist for item ID 100, and right, so no detail exists for item. But let's suppose if I let me check if any item exists. Let me check for 2, execute. So yeah, 2 exist and it is returning a null, but let's say like what is it is like giving. So first I write, let me again show you. First I am printing existing item, which is just a query, right? So what it will return, it will return a query, because that is a simple query, that's why it return it is a query. Then I use the dot first. So dot first, it means like it will return the object of that particular query. So it returns the object of the particular query. Now I type print item, right? So print item is just a value, like title is equal to string, description is equal to string. It is a like a JSON object, right? Equal to, right? So not a JSON with that. So it is like in the form of equal to. It is not a dictionary, but the update keyword need the dictionary, right? So I use a JSON encoder. So as soon as I use a JSON encoder, automatically this thing get converted into the Python dictionary, right? So that's why we have to use the like a JSONable encoder. So let me remove that all the print statement, because this is not required in our actual code. So now we have the JSONable encoder, right? So that's why like in the update query I pass the JSONable encoder. Now after that I have to commit it. So once the changes get updated, I have to what is this pass keyword, commit. So once the changes has been updated into the database, let's commit it. If we will not use the commit, we will not able to see the updated changes. So let me save it, and first try to get the particular item. So try it out. Let's suppose we will get the item number 2, and in the item number 2 is okay. Item number 2 says that test update for Apple description updated again, right? Let me update that. So for the item number 2, let me check Apple, right? Fresh apples. So we are trying to modify the details. So let me update it. So I have updated. I have to correct this because we are not getting any message here. So but let me get the again. So now I can see updated apple fresh apples. So this means we are successfully updated the item details, right? But here we are getting null response, so this is wrong. So we have to correct our code. Let me correct our code. So once it committed, so it should return some useful message, and the message should be details for item ID successfully updated, right? So let's retry again. So whether it returned none or whether it returns some useful message. So let me remove one apple single, execute. Now I could see detail for the item ID 2 successfully updated. If I cross check whether it actually updated or not, so let me fetch the data from the database. So apple single and fresh apples, right? So now the detail has been updated. So we could see what is the use of the JSON and like compatible encoder. So it is a very small you can say a document. So JSONable encoder is you can say one function within the fast API encoders module, and this is used to convert the Pydantic model into the JSON like object like dictionary or a list, right? And how to use that, we have to just first import that, and whatever the object we want to convert, so we have to this function will take an argument as a Pydantic schema, and in return it will give us the dictionary like object. So this is so we have covered the JSON compatible encoder. Along with that, we have see how to perform how to use the put function, how to update the data. But I want to show one more thing. If let's suppose you don't want to use the JSON encoder, so let's suppose this is a method 1. So let's try to use the method 2. So method 2 is same method, router dot put /item. Let me give it update 1, and it will take the ID as a input, and under the tags items. So hope you know why I'm using the tags. So if I localhost 8000 docs, because this is the tags basically, all the items route are at a single place, so that's why we are using the tag. So tag and def update 1 item by ID, and it will take the item ID as a argument. It will take a schema as well, by what thing we have to update. It will take a session object, and the session object depend upon the getDB function, whether we are fetching the test DB or the production DB. So everything should be remain same. First we fetch the existing item, db.query items, and then filter by items dot id is equal to id. Then we will check if it exists or not. If not existing existing item dot first. If it not exist, then we will return some useful message, and the message should be no details exist for item ID ID, right? Otherwise we will use the existing item dot update. Now we will not use the JSONable encoder, but we have a one attribute or one, like you can say a magic method, underscore dict. So this dict automatically convert this like Pydantic schema to the dictionary object. If we want to show you, let me show you, print item and print item dot underscore dict. So let me comment this first, and whether our application is running. Okay, dead. It should be def. It should be def. Okay, so now my application has been started. If I refresh it, you could see now two more put commands. So let's try it, the second one. If I try 100, it should return that a particular item doesn't exist. So it tells that the particular item doesn't exist. Now if I try 2 and let me pass single apples finished, some dummy values I am passing, right? If I now execute it, it will return null here, and here you could see when I print item, so when I print item, it will return the same thing, like title equal to single apple, description is equal to. But when I use item dot underscore dict, then it return me the dictionary object, right? So it perform the same as of the JSONable encoder. So if you don't want to use the JSONable encoder, it's up to you, don't use that. So then we have to use the dot underscore dict, right? So let me remove that, and let's update that. So it will update, and after that, once the item get updated, we have to commit that. Okay, so yeah, everything is done. So let me update that. So execute. Okay, item updated, but I am not returning some useful message. So after the item get updated, I have to return some useful message, and the message should be f string details for item ID successfully updated. Okay, yes, so application is running. Yes, application is running. Apples updated by method 2. Execute. Oh, sorry, it's not a I forgot to put a semicolon quotes, and that's why it returns some some error. Now let me re-execute it. So it shows me that details for item 2 has been successfully updated. If I try to fetch the details, so try it out, 2, execute. Yeah, apples updated by method 2. So we have seen a lot of options in this video. So in this video, first we see, because in the earlier video we see get and post method, now we see put method. Within the put method, we see like what details we want to take from the user, and we see like because how to run the update query. So we have to run the first, we have to filter the particular, and then on that particular we have to use the update keyword. The update keyword like took a dictionary as an argument, but as an input we are like passing the Pydantic model. So we have to first convert the Pydantic model into the dictionary. So we have the JSONable encoder which exists into the fast API.encoders, right? So we are first importing the JSONable encoder from the fast API.encoders. Import JSONable encoder, right? After that, within the JSONable encoder we are passing the particular Pydantic model. It automatically get converted into the dictionary, and the update parameter, update function will now get the dictionary as an input. So after that we are like committing that changes. We also see the method 2, and within the method 2 everything will be remain same, but the difference is, if let's suppose we don't want to use the JSONable encoder, so it's okay, we have to use the underscore dict attribute, or you can say function. It's basically a function. So we have to use the dict function, which is a magic function. It automatically convert the Pydantic model into the dictionary object. So yeah, so that's the end of the video. In the coming videos, so we have like in the body updates, JSON compatible encoder we have covered everything, but in the body updates, so body updates can be done by the put method and the patch method. So patch is basically for the partial updates. So even like let's suppose we are doing the partial update, like let's suppose we have not updated the description, we are updating only the title. So if our requirement is only to update the title, then why we are like passing the description into the, let me again show you, yeah, here let's suppose we are updating the title only and we don't want to update the description. So if I don't pass the description, let me check, and if I execute it, method 2 again, execute, yeah, so it give me the error. Why it give me the error? Because the particular schema is not like satisfy, because we are saying that it is matching with the item create schema, and the item create schema the 2 field, right? So the 2 fields are like title and the description. So that's why we have to pass the description as well. But let's suppose we are not passing that, we are not updating the description, but still we are passing the description. So unnecessary, we are passing a lot of information over the network. So that's why like we have the patch functionality. So patch is basically for the partial updates. When we have to perform the partial updates, then we can use the patch. We will see in the coming videos, but I just want to like let you know, right? So yeah, so that's the end of the video. So we have covered the put, we have covered the JSONable encoder. So we have see like how to update using the update function, and we also see underscore dict function as well. Yeah, thank you.